why is it that most men prefer not to speak up when it comes to mental health, whether it's mental stability, instability, just mental health awareness, just mental health in general? You know, I think to a degree is because the expectation that may be set on us, or some men, whether it's subconscious or unconsciously through society, you know, or friends, peers, colleagues, associates, etc. You know, I think that expectation is somewhere along the lines of, you know, you handle it yourself, you'll figure it out, don't open up to anybody, just keep it to yourself, don't trust nobody. And so I think that expectation really damages us internally, because you create this bubble and you just bottle everything in, and so when you're having those outbursts and those blow-up moments, you know, those moments could really be catastrophic, depending who you're gearing that you know, that moment or those comments to. And so it's not fair for both the recipient or you. And so I think that we just have to change the expectations, not even the society's expectations, but just the expectations that we put on ourselves. And when I say we, I'm just kind of speaking to myself, or, you know, someone else that maybe, you know, can kind of, you know, attest to what I'm saying. Some men just have a lot of trust issues. You know, maybe that's through trauma from growing up and, you know, not trusting folks or women or other men or other friends, you know, what have you. You've been burned before. And the vulnerability of speaking about what's going on in your head, you know, what's eating you up alive at night, you know, it's better, at least in that state, it's better to just keep it to yourself and not let anybody in, than the thought of somebody knowing what's going on and potentially using that against you to some degree. So I get it, but also, you know, that's also unhealthy for you as well, and it's not fair for you. And if you're married or, you know, have kids, friends, run a business, it's not fair for those around you either, because I can promise you they feel every inch of it. When you're quiet and you're just staring out and gazing, you know, not saying a word, they feel that. You know, if you have pets, animals, cats, dogs, they vibe off that. So, you know, when that pet comes and tries to rub on you and, you know, sit on you, play with you, they're sensing, you know, you're going into a different state and they're trying to pull you out of it. At least that's my belief, you know, to a high degree. And so I just think that, you know, speaking about mental health is big, is key. I think it should definitely be spoken more about, and I think that's one of my big goals, you know, with the platform, is just to bring more awareness to it, you know, that it is okay to speak on it. It is okay to be dealing with some shit. You know, we're all humans, we all go through shit. I think we should be more open about it. We shouldn't speak up, or we should, or whether, you know, your friends, colleagues, you know, whatever they think, you know, I say fuck that. I say speak up. There's always that one person everybody has to talk to, whether it's you know, your wife, friend, whoever, somebody that you trust. You know, just kind of tell them. You don't have to tell them everything, but just open up here and there a little bit. Just kind of test the waters. And here's another issue that I think some men, I know I deal with this, is why would I put everything that's in my head, you know, the stress, the drama, the PTSD, the anxiety, you know, the overthinking, into somebody else? You know, why would I take that out of my head and give it to somebody else to deal with, you know, when it's my issues? So that's one of the things I deal with. You know, I'd hate to put that onto somebody else. You know, I'd rather carry the boat and, you know, deal with that myself. But it does get exhausting. It does get draining. You know, I'm a big overthinker. You know, if you're anything like me, you overthink and overanalyze and overplan for everything. You know, you're gonna be having a conversation with, you know, your friend or your girl or your wife. They say one thing and you're like, well, if you said that, then that must mean that what you said last week about this means this, but also if you said that, then that means that what you just said right now means that. But then if that happens, and so you go on this ongoing cycle of like overthinking every word and overanalyzing every next word, you know, and it's a dangerous position to be in, and it's exhausting mentally too, to just go through all that, you know. So I would definitely suggest, you know, speak up. I think we all need to kind of speak up and shed some light on the mental health aspect of things. And, you know, it's okay to not be okay. And I think the more that everyone kind of speaks up and makes it known, you know, I think it'll be popular. And I think a lot of the issues that us men face will definitely, it won't, you know, we can't end it in one day, but I think it'll start, you know, to decrease. At least that's the goal. And don't get me wrong, it's not only men. I know, you know, women and females have an extreme amount of, you know, stress and anxiety and, you know, mental health to everybody. I'm just, you know, I'm a man, so I'm trying to talk directly to men as well. But there's mental health awareness on both sides, right? And you know, generally speaking, I think that everybody needs to kind of speak and be more open about it and talk about it, and just find that one person that you can trust and you can talk to, and just kind of share, you know, a couple things here and there, you know, see how they take to it. And at worst, you know, you can always seek, you know, professional help. Here's my thing. I tend to give the greatest advice, but I take none of my advice. Like, go speak to a professional, a therapist, you know, go talk to a friend, talk to your wife. You know, I give all these great advice, but I take none of them. You know, I just retract to that, you know, mentality of like, you know, I'll figure it out. It's on me. You know, I'd hate to bestow that on someone else. But I'm here to tell you that shit gets draining and it gets old. And you know, oftentimes, you know, when I'm driving, I'll drive 8-10 hours without saying a word. Everything is just in my head, just in loops and loops and loops and loops. And then I realize that I'm in my head, like it's quiet, no radio, no music, no podcast. I'm a big podcast guy. Always learning. And then you realize, holy fuck, I've been quiet for the last 8 hours. That shit is not healthy, because the amount of shit that you're processing, whether it is an argument with the wife or an argument with a friend, or like, you know, your business is on a downtrend, you're not hitting the projections you thought you would, you just start overthinking it. You just sauce and sauce and sauce all that shit into your head, and nothing good comes out of it. Nothing good comes out of it. So, you know, definitely let's be open a little bit more. Let's talk a little bit more. If I can help one person, I'm getting chills right now. You know, I wish, I'm gonna watch this video myself too anytime I'm, you know, in that state. Because if I can help just one person, you know, not jump off that ledge, or, you know, so to speak, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy that my words can potentially impact someone. You know, suicide is a huge thing these days, and specifically with the younger generation too. You know, especially being bullied and whatnot. I think we gotta lead by example as well. And there's a lot of folks, both male and female, that take a stand, and they definitely put out their, you know, great message. And I just think the more of us that do it, you know, we're leading by example, right? So I just think the world could be a better place, talking a lot more mental health, being more open about it, having no expectation for your wife or your husband, you know, to kind of speak up right away. But I do think everybody should have a dialogue at the very minimum on just, hey, this is what I'm going through. Let's talk. Let's take it a step at a time. You know, let's see what we can do differently. Here's a big one. Breath work meditation is huge. meditation, you know, on the whole, is huge. You know, you got to find out what works for you. But breath work meditation, it's huge. It kind of puts me in a different state immediately. And also going for walks. If you cooking in your head for like 5-10 hours, bro, go for a walk. Sis, go for a walk. Do like 10-30 minutes. And you're going to see the difference. Because if you're not moving and you're not active and your brain is just constantly cooking over and over and over and over and over analyzing shit, it's not good for nobody. Go out there, take a walk.